right. Thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Lunch Out Loud Ottawa.
I'm back.
Andrew Miller is back. My name is Nick Bachuski.
That's me.
Of course, this is episode number 47. And thank you so much. We're going to hit 10,000 listeners this week, which is incredible. Thank you so much. A big round of applause to our awesome listeners. And, of course, we're the podcast that talks to the people, places, events, and music that make Ottawa the incredible city that it is. And before we get to our special guest today, Jody Mitic, why don't we check this out?
Hey, this is Precise Kenny Creole, and I'm here with Aaron, and we're from Blak Denim.
What's up?
We're an 11-piece hip-hop band from Ottawa, and we recently placed second in the Live 88.5 Big Money Shot. You can catch our next show at Mercury Lounge for the anniversary celebration, and as part of the Up and Up Music Concert Series on November 28th. Come check us out for a good time. Follow us on Twitter at Blak, BLAK_Denim. Yeah. The song we're about to get into is Blak Denim's first single. We called this one Intoxicated. Hope you enjoy.
American psycho call himself Jesus. Nori Chan Chumbery butt heads like Beavis. Not an opportunity that I can pass up. Catapult past where I am to get my cash up. No, but it's not about that. Feel in my gym, yeah, it's all about that. Chasing the cheese, caught up in the mouse trap. Slow process, no, it's never ASAP. Long live the effort, brush in hand, mirror on top of the dresser. Back in the day, never thought of the pressure. Gotta do it better, you wanna do it forever. Lights, so bright, emotions high like a kite. Man, this is so amazing, this feeling's intoxicating. What?
I want that feeling.
Come on.
But do I feel intoxicated?
I want that feeling back.
But do I feel intoxicated?
I want that feeling back.
But do I feel intoxicated?
I want that feeling back.
All right, so that band was awesome. That was a great show on last Friday night. It was a long night. It started at 8:30, ended around 2:30 a.m. And the winner was Cardboard Crowns, which were excellent.
Yeah, and who did I say was going to win it once I heard them?
Cardboard Crowns,
That's right.
But this music's awesome. So we're definitely going to be checking them out at the Mercury Lounge, November 28th. Jody, I know you're coming to that.
Are we on?
Yeah,
We're on, bud. We're on air.
I've been checking texts. All right. Yes, I was invited to Mercury Lounge by
Blak Denim.
Yeah, so
and I'm very happy to check out local talent.
No, I really like their sound, man. They sound really good. They sound, kind of like the Roots, and I mean, there's not a lot of people that can kind of duplicate that. And there's how many people in the group did you say?
11.
11. That's insane.
And so they're just so much fun, and it reminds me a lot of when I lived in Australia on Brunswick Street in Melbourne, where you'd get people dancing to this stuff all night, and it was just a lot of fun. So hopefully a lot of people will come out to Ottawa to the Mercury Lounge then. It'll be a lot of fun there.
I'm really sad that I had to miss the Live 88.5 final showdown there.
It was a lot of fun.
It was.
A lot of good
Mexico
stuff.
was quite nice, though.
You are back. You still have no tan, but
No, I'm Canadian. I got red and white. That's it.
You're just a lot more red.
There's no middle in there.
We're at the St. Martha's de Brasserie Brasserie de Orleans,
Yes.
near the Centrum. So we just had a lovely lunch here. I liked it. What did you think, Jody?
My flank steak required no knife.
There, that's
That's
delicious.
good.
Delicious.
That's
Some
delicious.
great meat.
A
And
little
the
small, but
sandwiches that Nick and I had were also great.
All right, so we're pleased to be with Jody, who of course was on The Amazing Race. So we'll talk about The Amazing Race a bit. And also we're going to get to other things that's like how he got to Ottawa and what he's doing now and going on in the future, because it's a very interesting story. So first of all, Jody, how did you get to living in Ottawa?
The Army brought me here.
Yeah.
As a short, yeah. Because I got wounded.
Yeah.
I got blown up. So afterwards, they thought, what a great opportunity to send him to Ottawa.
Yeah.
And they
Were you thrilled about that idea?
At the time, I was more worried about learning how to use my fake legs.
Yeah.
And they said I was a good example to the other troops, so I said, okay. And they sent me here, and it was...
So what were you doing here? Were you working with D&D, or are you working with...
Well, I was working with the Soldier On program, which is for injured and ill military members. I did that for a while, got bored with it, had a difference of opinion with some of the officers and people in charge, and promptly left.
But you
Those things happen.
but you still stayed in Ottawa, like you.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Alana's my wife is she's a sergeant in the army, so she's a medic, so she was working here as well.
Can we pull this love story back a little bit? How did you meet her originally again?
Originally, I met her in Petawawa through
Okay.
a mutual friend, and at the time she was married to a guy that I knew.
She was married to the guy. Okay. All right.
No, she was married to a guy I knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, like, that was like back in 05 or something.
Yeah.
And in 06, I saw her in Afghanistan when we were passing through a strong point. We call it a strong, it'd be like a fortress or whatever you want to
Okay.
call it. And she was the medic, her and her medics, she was in charge of the medics there. And she was the only blonde. She was probably the only girl around, so, like,
Automatically, your eyes were drawn to
took
that.
double look, right? Didn't recognize her at the time, to be honest. And then, and then we kind of got to know each other because snipers are small teams and medics are small teams. So
Okay.
we bunked with her medic team for a while because the platoon didn't have anywhere for us, and she had a little bit extra space.
Yeah.
So we watched Family Guy DVDs and chatted as a group.
Sweet.
Right on.
And her and I always seemed to end up sitting next to each other. So.
Right on.
That's a lovely love story.
So something
Well,
new
at
came
that
out of
point,
Afghanistan.
At that point, it was just battlefield flirting, right? And then after I was wounded, though, her ambulance picked me up off the battlefield,
Yeah.
and then I didn't see her for like a year. And then we met up in Petawawa after I was posted back there, and she was freshly divorced, and I was freshly broken up with my girlfriend. So we
Life's all about timing,
we
right?
consoled each other.
Right on.
Hey,
That's awesome.
Between the booze and the sandwiches, you know, we
Love is
got to
near.
know each other.
Sweet.
what do you enjoy most about living in Ottawa?
Ottawa, like I was born in Kitchener,
Yeah.
so I've always said Ottawa is kind of like Kitchener but bigger, right? Because you go to Kitchener, there's the downtown.
Yeah.
You come to Ottawa, there's the downtown. There's the market. It's grown a little bit, but you know we're going back to the '90s when I said this, right?
Yeah.
Even Kitchener's grown, and but like you know you go to Toronto and there's multiple areas to go. Ottawa, like there's the market. You can go on down Elgin a little bit on Bank, right? But still near like you know
Yeah.
not there's that core area. And there's little pockets, tiny pockets where there's a place
Yeah.
in Ottawa. Like you can go somewhere on a Thursday, you know, in Canada, right? There's like
Yeah.
that. I don't know that.
Is
What's that, like,
shopping
Yeah,
district
Canada
area?
Centrum.
Got the Crazy Horse Saloon there.
Yeah,
and
the Centrum, it's called there.
yeah,
Same,
you
same
can
as
party,
we are in
you
Orleans.
can party
here.
in that area,
Yeah.
but that's it for Canada.
Yeah.
It seems to be. I don't know. Maybe there's more, but so I like it because like, and you look around, there's no like massive buildings, so it still has that small town feel no matter where you go. But it's a big city, right?
What are some of the favorite restaurants that you like hitting up around town?
Mellows downtown. I like the Mellows Diner because it's been around since 1943, I think it
Yeah.
says on the thing, on the menu. And I like history. I'm a big history freak. Another favorite restaurant is Alana and I like to go to. I know it's in every town, but the Keg downtown.
Yeah.
We go to that one. The staff there are awesome. They really treat us good. Trying to think of a place, a few other. I like off the beaten path places too. Gabriel's Pizza is awesome in town, and it's. That was my drink.
Yeah, the microphone just tried to drink your
Take
drink.
a sip of my water.
What about sports? You're an active guy.
Not a huge sports guy.
No, you don't
UFC.
do many sports? UFC, you're into that? Mixed martial arts stuff?
Yeah.
What about, well, you're a sniper. Do you do any other kind of activities with guns anymore around town? Do you go to paintball at all? Or?
You know, I've been thinking about going to that tag zone.
Yeah?
Is it tag zone or tag line?
Something like that where it's like a
It's
laser
on
tag type thing?
Montreal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just there in
Attached
Vanier.
to the, that one. Yeah, okay.
Which
I
one?
think it's in Vanier,
Yeah.
right before the bridge,
Yeah.
across
Okay.
from the bingo parlor, I think.
Yep.
I keep meaning to go there because now they got the paintless. They use the little just little rubber balls now, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And it'll still keep track and score and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I've played all that stuff, and it's more like it's honor. It's on your honor.
Well, that's
like,
it.
Yeah.
We got you. No, you missed. I swear.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
So do you think it's fair you being a sniper and playing paintball games and stuff?
It's all fair. fair, right?
Yeah.
It's democracy. Because I'm better at it doesn't mean it's not fair. And I'm not that good at it.
Yeah.
Paintball is way different than combat.
It is, yeah. Those balls don't fly quite the same as a bullet, I'm sure. I'm sure the guns aren't quite as
Well,
good
I
either.
mean, you do things in paintball you'd never do in real combat.
Yeah.
And because you know you're not going to die, right?
Yeah.
So you fuck. I played paintball actually. I interned at the Bear, the radio station.
Okay.
And the guy Gonzo took us all to the paintball place on the west end of town.
Okay.
I forget the name. It's like some farmer's field.
Yeah.
Some old and that was I hadn't done that since I got hurt. That was a lot of fun.
Right on.
Did you do any more of that in the summer? Or?
I haven't, man. Like I got 2 little kids, and Alana, you know, she's got her work and stuff. So when we have time off, we're with the kids, right? And if we get a night off, we're going out to have a dinner and a date. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
And, hey, honey, you want to go paintballing? She's like,
Yeah,
get the fuck
maybe
out
so
of
you're
here.
still listening to us. If Jet and Dave came to Ottawa, where would you take them here?
We took Jet to Giovanni's in
there you
Little
go.
Italy.
There you
'Cause
go.
Our friend is one of the hostesses,
That makes sense.
and what the food there? Holy shit!
Yeah, it's great. I've had friends that work there too.
Yeah. Like, we were there once, so you know we'll go back for sure.
Yeah.
Man, it was so good.
Right
So-
on. That's Giovanni's on Preston for anybody that doesn't know where that
Yeah.
is. right across from Heart and Crown.
There you go. So just quickly about about the
You
Amazing
know what?
Race.
Sorry,
you got?
Elgin Street Diner.
There
like
you
it
go.
there?
ESD.
I'll show up there 3 a.m. sometimes and have an omelet because I like
You like your omelets.
simple meals.
Well, that's what you've been talking about, your new diet. That's
Well, it's not. I shouldn't say it's new, but like I'm really I'm trying to go. You know, what do you call it? Paleo or whatever.
a little more naturalistic.
Yeah, you know, like before I got hurt, I only ate what I needed to stay strong.
Yeah.
I had a really good ability to control my appetite, and I would actually enjoy the feeling of hunger. Like if I was hungry, I would be like, okay, I know I did just enough fuel in the tank, so no extra. So having this like fat on me since I got hurt is a real bummer.
Yeah.
So now in the last couple of months, like, and I've been on and off, and everyone thinks I'm super fit. Yeah. I've been fit my whole life, so it's easy to fall back on you know. And I was an athlete as a kid, so.
Yeah.
But now I want to get back to that quasi, you know, calendar, you know, body that you
Yeah.
know if you want to do a covered. But anyway, so Elgin Street Diner, they have some of the best. You know, you can go there and have bacon and eggs. And what's
Yeah.
a better meal than bacon and eggs? Except for maybe
Nothing.
steak and eggs.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's better.
Yeah.
Who approached you to make the audition tape for the Amazing Race?
Wow, this is a bit of a long story, so get ready. Buckle up. So my buddy Dave, who I know from out west, he's a blogger, and I think what he thought was that he'd get a little traction on his blog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a military support blog, and I'm known in the circles, right?
Yeah.
So I think he thought he'd get a little traction if he put up a blog saying Jody and I applied to Amazing Race, never expecting to get beyond the application. When we got our edition, because we got all the way up to a live edition. Suddenly, Dave can't get time off work, right? But now I'm pumped because since 2009, like I pitched a show in 2009 that would have been like Survivor Man meets Fight Science.
Okay.
Remember that show on Nat Geo? It's called Fight Science.
No, I'm not familiar
Well,
with it. But
if you're a fan of biology and
Okay.
how the mind works under stress, Google Fight Science. It's
Okay.
really good.
okay.
So, and you know, it was kind of like OLN almost bought it, blah blah blah. So since then, because I've done so much media through the military and stuff, I thought it's a good gig, right? Like radio, TV, print. You can kind of do your own thing. People will pay. You can get paid pretty good if you do. You know, if you're lucky. Even if you're not getting paid great money, it's still good money, right? Like it's well more than enough to live on if you're in the right genre.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. So I kept I was working on that. And then when Dave applied for this, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Amazing
Why not?
Race.
Sure,
No,
yeah.
I didn't. I was like, what? Amazing Race? Sure. Is it? I thought they only took Americans. Oh, it's the Canadian version. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Thinking I'd never hear from him again as well, right? And then when we got the edition, I was like, oh. And then I'm talking to people like generals in the military, politicians that, you know, like federal politician, every level of politician, like a judge, a bunch of lawyers, like just professors at universities, people you wouldn't think watch TV, never mind The Amazing Race. And
Yeah.
like, all of them were like, that's the one show or like half of them were like, it's one show I never miss.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, huh? And
For
then
the Amazing Race Canada.
for The Amazing Race.
Okay,
Well,
just the
period, 'cause
American
this was the
version.
first Canadian, right? So
Yeah, and I'm
but-
like, they're like, yeah, it's different. It's not like the other ones. That, it's not full of douchebags and this and that, and it's real. What happens is real. So I'm like, okay, if I want to be on TV, and this is the most popular show in Canada anyway, because when it's on, it's the most popular show, and this is going to be the Canadian version, this might be something worth getting on, right? So like the little light bulb on top of my head's going up like, hey, stupid, this is worth doing. So I started calling Dave. I'm like, dude, we have a chance. You better be at the fucking gym. You better drink your water. Because Dave's a little heavy and stuff. He's got some injuries from when he's a kid that he can't, he needs to like work on to be flexible. You better be doing yoga, drinking water, protein, taking some vitamins. And so one day he's like, yeah, dude, I can't get the time off work. Because I think we were getting to the point where we might actually have to go on the show. And I think it intimidated him.
Yeah.
And I think I was intimidating him. Because when it's game time, like, my happy-go-lucky streak tends to go away till I'm comfortable with what I'm
get
doing.
into beast mode, right?
A little bit of beast mode comes out. And so in the meantime as well, my brother, my son, a couple of my sniper team buddies were all like, why didn't you ask us? So I was like, well, this guy asked me. So then when Dave backed out, I called the production company and I was like, can I keep my audition day and bring in my brother? And Corey was a model, he's fit, he's a good, he's good looking, he's smart, he's like in his 30s as well. And they were like, yeah, maybe, let us think about it. And then 5 minutes later they called us back and they're like, okay, you can do it as long as you bring in a new audition video within like I think it was a Thursday or Wednesday, and we had to have it done by Monday.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine shot it for us and then submitted it, and after that it was we won that lottery. Because over
how many people do you know
They
altogether
say-
what they got?
How many people made it to auditions?
I don't know,
No.
but they say over 30,000 applied.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
So and,
that's
you
pretty
know,
good.
Were you and then you're pumped when you received the news?
I wasn't at first because they call you so often to say you're still in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean they're like they call and say you're still in. They don't say you're in.
yeah.
And I'm the kind of guy that I don't really get excited for Christmas till it's Christmas.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. Because in the military too, it's a lot of like warning orders. Like there's always like, oh, in 3 months we might do this. Oh, in a month, and oh, don't forget in 3 weeks.
You become accustomed
Unless
to
it
it.
actually happens.
So then they called me. They're like, okay, this is so all 3 of us, and you're on, yay! And I'm just like, so I'm waiting for them to tell me when to pack, what to bring, what day, when am I getting on a bus? And they're like, Jody, are you there? And I'm like, yeah. Aren't you excited? I'm like, yes. Okay, and I'm like, can I say it's fucking awesome? They're like, yeah, you can say it's fucking awesome. I'm like, all right, it's fucking awesome. Now, what do I do? Let's go. It's game time.
Sweet.
Beautiful. Were you when you
I know,
were
long story, right?
That's
You
good.
can unbuckle me.
It's a good one.
When you were how long until like from the audition until or like when you were announced to be on until you showed up in Niagara Falls?
Well, our live edition was March 10th, I believe, if I remember correctly. And the show started filming May 3rd or 2nd.
Okay.
So basically April to.
So you
get
still
there.
had a month and a bit for training.
Yeah, we worked out, we talked a lot, I think we psyched ourselves up a little too much maybe from the beginning.
Did you watch American?
I tried,
Race?
but
Did you go back and study? Like,
Because
I
that would
tried,
have won
but-
you this one if you would have studied
right,
it.
it would have won us this one.
Yeah.
We would be the winners.
You would have been the winners if you would have
But
watched.
neither of us, I couldn't, I searched YouTube and I couldn't find a full season.
Yeah.
oh,
And
really?
I was watching. I found like half of this season. And I was watching it, and it was good. And then it just like I went to that link one day because you only watch so many a day.
Yeah,
and it was gone.
So that's
And
what ended
I
it.
have Apple TV, so I'd watch it on my big TV with
So
Elena.
that's what ended it.
Oh, well.
Probably if we had seen the ending of a couple of seasons, we definitely would have won.
You would have won it.
But you know
And
what? Whatever.
Whatever.
Like,
It was-
how did it? We lost to a guy with Parkinson's.
Yeah.
They were great.
What the fuck
Great
was a
to
guy
watch,
with
too.
no legs and a guy with Parkinson's doing in the top
First
3
and
anyway?
second place.
Right?
Incredible, and the girls from Ottawa too. So it was
Yeah,
just
half of the final teams, like 3 of the 6 of us, were from Ottawa.
Yeah.
incredible.
Go
And
Ottawa.
We'll be right back with Jody. We're going to listen to one more song from Black Denim. This one's
Yeah.
one hit. We'll be right back.
This is our most recent recording as Blak Denim. This track is called One Hit.
Yeah.
Please be seated. Go ahead, put your feet up. Lean back and relax. Notice I'm not here alone today. A few musician friends with me.
Yeah.
Musician friends with me.
Did I ever think that I would get to this point? Spit fluid into ears, let the lyrics annoy. Not really, but brain remains blessed. Fearlessly roll through obstacles two ways. I'm intrepid. Set goals for myself that I had to acknowledge. And one of those goals was that I had to graduate from college. Now I got a piece of paper claiming that I got knowledge. But what does that mean if that's not what you really wanted? A waste of money or a good plan B? I don't know, but in time we shall see. Now I'm working in the field that I graduated from, but I'd rather a place to place my dedication. End of the day, I place my day in the sun.
All right, so we're back with Jody. Mitic, when you were out there at Niagara Falls on the first, was that the first you met the people that you're going to be going up against, or no?
No, we had a little orientation.
You had an orientation when you
But
sized
we
them
weren't
up around
allowed. We weren't allowed to talk to each other until the cameras were rolling.
Okay. When you first saw like them at orientation, did you size them up and go, "Yeah, we can take on all these guys"?
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Corey and I.
You looked at each other the first moment and go, "Yeah, this is over."
Well, I mean, we were. I mean, you're not there if you're not confident. Everybody had a confidence about them, but we. You know, like we didn't feel threatened by anyone in particular. I knew from day one that Tim and Tim were going to be up there. Like, despite them not.
But they
being
had two.
eliminated,
They could have been eliminated on two
but they
other
were
days.
still. They were still pretty smartish. You know, like they weren't dummies. You know, nobody there
They
was
would
a
figure
dummy.
the quicker things out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just, you know, like to me, like Tim
It's-
Senior especially seemed to have his shit about him.
Except
He-
their major mistake was at the zoo on that last day. That was insane, not going to the exhibit.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
And,
And it's
Tim,
easy
you
to
know, you
look
watch
back.
it, and Tim Senior's like, "Are we going in?" And Junior's like, "I don't know." And then they're like, "Fuck it, we're not going in."
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Corey and I had moments where we were like, "Go left or right? Go left." Fuck, we should have gone right. In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah, that's-
first in Kelowna, we did just that, and they didn't show it, but we ran around for like an hour. You know, like if we ran all the way around the building, down the beach, and back when it was like we just had to go around the corner to the building.
Yeah.
And, you know,
What did you find the most challenging part of the show?
the square dancing or line dancing.
Oh, that was dreadful.
But it was just hard because it was technical and my feet, you know.
And to remember all of that, and it wasn't just a
It
few
wasn't
steps.
that
was
hard to remember, but like I found out at like right before I did it right, like someone in the audience was like, or like one of the people watching was like, "You have to do everything," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing all the footwork," and they're like, "No," because I would have got it my first try, except I would just touch my hat. I didn't actually take it off. I would just touch it and like tip my head. If I had taken it off, I would have been done the first time.
Really?
Yeah. And that was the thing. So they were looking for like 5 key things, like doing this with your hands and like slapping your ass, take the hat off and kick or slap your foot down.
Yeah.
All that, like, you know, is your foot in the right spot? Are you with everyone? They weren't too worried about it. It was just these key movements.
Where do you want to go back in Canada that you were there? Kelowna, beautiful, eh? Sunny is one of the sunniest cities in Canada. I think.
Is it really?
The most sun time.
I
over
just
the
like-
Okanagan
Anywhere in
Valley.
BC.
You're in
man.
the
Anywhere
town.
In BC is just gorgeous. But
There's this big, huge lake. There's mountains all around it, you know, like, and you can go up into the mountains and hang out and do stuff like walk on that plank, which is an attraction there. Like,
Yeah.
if anyone goes there, they can go there
Yeah.
and do what we did.
You did that, yeah.
And you know, and there's the vineyards around, and you know, to me it was just like it was a bit of a playground. I think. Like
So
an
none
outdoor
of it wouldn't be
playground.
your number one thing to go back up to.
I'd go back there, but you know, like, no offense to anyone, but
Not
I
a
mean,
lot to do.
the locals aren't the great. Like, they're most like you meet a lot of really nice. I've met a ton of nice people from there. But the ones that we ran into up there, besides the ones that were with us, they were all good people. But a lot of the people we just kind of bumped into in town, like, I don't know, it just didn't seem like they wanted us there.
Yeah.
You know, and I've heard that from other people, like, it's like outsiders are looked down on up there, and like, because like they're mostly they're considered like tourists. but like tourists that get in the way of the locals from doing what they want to do and stuff. So
Gotcha.
I kind of get it. It's like, you know, anytime, and even on my street, somebody drives by a little too fast because I got kids, and I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
if you lived in a place where people were constantly flying in and flying out, and they were just there to go, oh, look at all the pretty snow, and then fuck off on you, like,
Yeah.
you know, I get it, but. And it's the weather there, like, you never know what it's going to be like, you know.
That's
And I
true.
spent a lot of time outside in the Army,
Yeah.
but, you know, I'd probably go back if it was like a trip. Like, I wouldn't just go back to visit. Like,
Yeah.
I'd want to go there for like a month or two, you know, and spend time and get to know the town. But Kelowna, right, like, I came home and I was like, we're going to Kelowna.
Beautiful.
Nice.
And even my
And
daughter,
you,
to this
you
day,
won a couple flights, right?
yeah, but not Canada.
Not the.
But I mean, I'm
know where you're
I'm
going
an
with those?
executive 100,000 K member of Aeroplan.
Yeah.
Is it Aeroplan for Air
don't know.
Canada?
I don't know.
Shit, I should know this. Yeah, Aeroplan. And so, you know, I can upgrade my flights and stuff. I'm sure I can get cheap
Where
flights
do
out
you
there
think
for
of going, like with those winds? Have you
well,
thought about that yet?
Corey and I were talking about he'll take one and I'll take one because we literally get a ticket each.
Okay.
There's no, like, it's not like a package.
No.
And it's economy class. It's only the flight, so like nothing else is paid for it. Like, we even got to pay the taxes on the flights. So it's like, well, to make sure you can afford it, we're thinking
Going like Thailand or something.
he'll go.
where everything's
Well,
cheap
no,
once you get there.
it's the Caribbean and South America. So, you know, we're thinking maybe he'll go to the Caribbean and I'll go to South America, or vice versa. He's never been to. I've never been to the Caribbean,
Yeah.
and neither of us have ever been to South America. So
there you go.
Do
We'll
that
see.
What were they thinking having Vanessa and Selena drive stick in Halifax? That's my.
They were
I wanted to
thinking-
talk about
They were
that.
thinking it'd be fucking TV gold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
what
it
if they
was.
cause? What if they cause an accident?
And
though,
I saw
on
that you're
Like,
part race car driver,
how
right?
would they not-
Like, race car driving is part of your thing. That must have been an advantage. Did you get to see them touring around trying to drive stick?
No.
Before you just saw that
we
in
just
shows
left.
afterwards?
Like, before the challenge, or before we started, I think they said neither of them drove stick, and we were all like, okay, well. And then when we got there and they were stick, all of us were like, well, they're done.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And they would have been, but that was another non-elimination round.
And,
right?
and it was, but
yeah.
everybody got there to the pier and just slept there overnight. So they just had to get there within like 4 hours or 6 hours before you guys
Yeah,
got
but
there
it-
the
I
next
could've
day.
kept it in
at the
first
end of the
gear
day,
and-
they were the last ones at the mat.
Yeah.
But it was a non-elimination, or it was an extended leg or whatever.
Yeah, so they got through, which was good.
Yeah. I also noticed on your bio, besides the race car driving, that your fears for both you and your brother were eating strange things. Which one of you had to eat the whale's blubber? I forgot.
I did.
You did? How was
Corey
that?
doesn't have a strange things.
Well, on it said like on the website for the amazing
I think
race, it
he
says
meant
that's both of you
what
meant.
Corey meant was bugs.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure you had an idea when you said it, but
But for me, like, I don't know. I think my fear was zombies. I'm terrified of zombies. I watched that show World
Walking
War
Dead.
Z
oh yeah.
That's the best
movie,
one for.
and I'm like, fuck that. Like, anyway,
I love
yeah,
zombies.
like everyone who knows me was laughing at me eating the whale blubber.
Yeah.
They
But
knew
they
you'd be-
like, I'm like, yeah, but it's still animal stuff, and I like animals. I like
There you go.
Animals are delicious, and you know, I've learned a lot. And like, fat isn't bad for you, especially not natural. Like animals that are wild, their fat is actually really good for you. And I'm like, it's for $500,000.
Yeah.
I would have eaten
You eat the
a
whole
whale.
yeah.
You know, I would have sucked his eyeballs out for $500,000. Like, Jesus Christ.
Right on.
So yeah, anything else coming up with you? Are you doing still with the Never Quit Foundation?
The Never Quit Foundation, neverquitfoundation.ca.
We'll have that
We're
on the
trying to keep, like, part of the problem is I was in Ottawa and the other two guys were in Petawawa. Now one of the guys is in Windsor.
Okay.
And we have another guy who kind of does our social media, and he's in Kingston.
Yeah.
So it's just coordinating is like, you know, Dave will call me and I'm like feeding the kids. I'll call him. He's like at work, and Trevor, he's got 10 kids, and, you know, he's always running around. Like, it's just, there's so much going on that, you know, I call the webmaster and she's like, well, you know, you guys haven't sent me those pictures. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who was supposed to send the pictures? Oh, I was supposed to send the pictures? Jesus Christ. You know, so it's like there's a lot of just coordination for our communications with the public is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
When we do work, it's good work. We've sent a lot of guys to UFC. We've sent a lot of guys to like basketball games and football games, and and stuff because we want guys to go out and have a good time and not feel like not be in a just kind of get them out of their environment if they're in a bad way or just if they're having trouble getting motivated. Like even me, like if I watch UFC, like I want to work out all day the next day, and so so we're trying to just introduce like positive everything. And then eventually we might do more or less. Like we're not sure. We might fall into a certain niche, but
right on.
It's and the biggest thing I've been saying it's about building a mentor peer support network, right?
Yeah.
Because if you lose your legs, even if you're in a car accident, there's no like manual, and there's no like section of the yellow pages like people with no legs, hang out with them here.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's not like Alcoholics Anonymous or something, like it's really...
It's not. And to be honest, like I've been to that style of hanging out or whatever, and it's not that
motivating,
uplifting, motivating. To be honest, it's good. It gives people accountability. It seems to work a little bit, but we're trying to put people in a position where they're not being. I forget the term, but there's psychologists and psychiatrists get it a lot. I guess it's. That you take on trauma from someone else.
Okay.
So when you put a group of people together that all have issues, and then they just sit around telling stories,
and they're just kind of all stews together eventually.
Everybody walks away going, not only does my life suck, I just met 10 people that their life sucks. Holy shit, we're never going to survive. Or you go to a UFC and go have pints after.
That sounds like my
style. And you trade stories and lies. And like to us, we found that. So I saw that with Soldier On, and I've noticed that a lot now. Like people. Be out in the sunshine, and even if you're miserable, at least you're outside, and you're, or you're at a hockey game or a baseball game, and there's something going on besides what's going on in your head or what's going on with your body.
It's a better camaraderie that way. I like
well, yeah, and like we had a guy who never wore shorts since he had his leg blown off, and he was hanging out with us. We all were all in shorts. He felt out of place, being around like 10 guys with no legs. So that was a success, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Like that one event was enough for me to go, this is worth doing.
Yeah.
So, but it's tough when everybody has a life and you have to find a paying gig because it doesn't pay running a charity unless you're the United Way or something. So we all need to make a living and try and run this thing. So
right on.
But it's pretty good.
And how are the motivational speeches going? And
pretty good.
Have you seen a difference from before going on Amazing Race to now?
Like 1,000%.
Yeah.
But I did
and that's great to get that kind of mentality up.
Well, at least you'll get more people now. You'll be able to help, right? So
maybe I haven't had anyone buy a T-shirt or offer to volunteer from my talks, but they have like my mention of Never Quit is like that much of my talk, right? They're not there to have me pitch them my charity. They're there to hear the motivational story and stuff, and I mention it as something that helps me deal with what happened to me and makes me feel good because I'm helping other people.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that that's what they want. But I and my other thing is local or what go home and walk. I used to walk dogs for the SPCA.
Yeah.
Just because it's good exercise and they need the help, right? So you bring $20, you give them to them, or you buy a dog food and you walk a dog for them, and you feel a little bit better about yourself for the day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so I tell people do that. Go home. Volunteer for your kids' next field trip or something. Just don't be so worried about yourself all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had a blog for a little while. Are you still run your blog?
I have Never Quit Radio. It's my podcast. It's
your podcast.
It really sucks because I'm trying to bite Joe Rogan style. Joe Rogan is my favorite podcast.
He's got a pretty good one, yeah.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, if you compare yourself to the major leagues, you're always going to suck.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to figure out how do I compete or not compete, and how do I get to that level? And you don't. You got to keep moving forward with it, right? And I'm slowly I did one a couple maybe 6 months ago, and I put it on YouTube. But I'm looking at my computer, and I'm like, okay, it's got this, and so I'm trying to compress. I don't know how to compress files, so it took
I'll send you the website. We're gonna help you out with
and how can people look at this podcast or listen to it? Let's get them out there. We got almost 10,000 listens this week.
At one point, I was on Ustream, and that was the easiest.
Yeah.
But it would cost me a shit ton in bandwidth.
Yeah.
So I had to quit doing that because I just couldn't afford it. And now I could probably afford it, and I have unlimited internet now anyway. But I got away from it because I thought, I realized I was trying too hard to be that other like
Yeah.
like Joe Rogan's Joe Rogan.
You got to be Jody Mitic.
And yeah, like, and also, it's so funny. Like, I love technology, but I'm happy with simple. Like today, I bought a iPhone 5C.
Yeah.
Even though everyone's like, "Oh, the 5S," I'm like, it's
Whatever.
still better than what I have.
Yeah.
And you know, like, I just needed to make phone calls, send emails, do Twitter, and now, like, somebody showed me an app where you can do a podcast through the app. Right? Like, I tried recording it on voice memo.
What was your
before.
podcast called?
Mine's Never Quit Radio.
Never Quit Radio.
Yeah, it has a Twitter account for still, even though it's
So
like,
people can Google that or just Google Jody Mitic.
yeah,
and
it'll
find
be
it
up on the
eventually.
website for Never Quit Foundation at some
Oh,
point,
okay.
but maybe not because the guys are worried that because I swear and say whatever I want,
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, you might scare off donors." I'm like, "Well, we don't want those fucking donors anyway."
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
Yeah,
that.
that was awesome.
And I'll send you some stuff to try to help you with that as well. But we'll just talk about some events going on this week. Thanks so much for coming. What
Yeah, what do you got going on this
what do you
weekend?
got?
This week, me?
This weekend.
Yeah, weekend. What do you got? You and the kids? Saunders Farm, maybe? That's a good hot spot these
that's a
days.
good
Yeah, we got some pumpkins from Orleans Fruit Farm or whatever it is up there on St. Joseph.
Okay, you're gonna have a big pumpkin carving
So
party.
we're gonna carve the pumpkins. I gotta go to Toronto on Sunday, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm working on some stuff. I'm meeting a ghostwriter, so that's kind of cool.
Book coming
look
up.
for that
Potential
book, yeah.
book coming up.
Yeah,
All right,
in
right on.
Ottawa though, like I don't know. This weekend we haven't made. We're trying to sell our house. We want to build a house.
Oh, there you go.
So
All right. Well, we'll let you know what's
actually,
going on.
December 3rd, Accessibility for All. I think it's December 3rd. It's the Accessibility for All event at City Hall. I'm going to be the MC there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Well, remember to remind us before our episode so we can remind everybody else to make it out for that.
And of course, November 10th they're at the Canadian War Museum, they're doing the Afghanistan: A Soldier's Story Film Fest. That's going to be interesting.
Oh, I
That'll be
didn't even know
interesting.
that.
There
I
you
will
go.
definitely be there.
All right, what else is popping this weekend?
Well, you can get out to the Pumpkin Inferno at Upper Canada Village. That'll be good this weekend. Tonight, Thursday, you got Babes for Breasts, the Canadian artists uniting to fight breast cancer at
saw that.
Southminster Church. You got Unreasonable Variety Video Showcase at Prest at 8 p.m. That's only $5. That's going to be great. There's a new event starting up tonight called Word Association.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
saw that hip-hop Word
open
Association,
mic,
yeah.
yeah. So that's going to be at Luneta Cafe. So it's first of its kind. If you're working on beats or you know anybody who is, please share that with them. Get them out there. This weekend you have the Ottawa Art Expo at St. Elias. So that'll be a lot of fun there.
Raised by Wolves, local clothing brand. They have a new launch coming out. It's going to be at Top of the World all weekend. Obviously, their new stuff's coming out. But you can head by Top of the World anytime, Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Cocktail. Check out their new gear.
Ooh, I might go to that.
There you go.
You got Barrymore's annual Halloween charity ball. That's always fun. At the Diefenbaker, they have the zombie chases and stuff like that.
Saw that.
You see
Thinking
that?
about going.
It's hanging out
When's the
bunker.
Great Zombie Walk?
That's on Sunday.
Sunday?
Sunday.
Oh,
It's going to be huge.
yeah.
2 p.m.
And where does that start? How do we? I've always wanted to do it. I love zombies. We should get
Maxwell-
Jody
I
running
hate
from us
zombies.
because he hates them.
My friends dress. They do it every year, and they send me pictures of them dressed as zombies. And I'm just like, I
No.
want to shoot you.
Yeah.
I thought it would already. Okay, so that's on Sunday, and it leaves
Sunday.
from where?
MacDonald Park at 2 p.m.
In Vanier, and then goes to Parliament Hill, right?
Sure.
Something like that. Sure. Next.
Just keep following the zombies.
There you go. they're not going to be hard to get up. Then you have the Plaid Parade also starting at Artisan Bakery at 1 p.m. So I don't know if they might unite, the Plaid Parade on
Yeah.
bikes. With
Or
the
you
zombies.
can dress up like a zombie with some plaid on, maybe a lumberjack zombie.
I
Then
love-
you can do both parties.
I love this style. You're not doing
I'll
bad.
kill all zombies. I don't care.
Can zombies bike though?
Sure. Very slowly.
What if you were bitten and was riding a bike?
There-
And
you'd
you
be a
transferred
permanent
while on the
biker.
bike. You'd be biking. Yeah,
Lance would
exactly.
be the worst one. Lance Armstrong.
you'd never get away from the fucker.
Anyways, next week we have Kathy Smart. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Your girl.
Yes, she's, my friend. Her husband, my wife, might object to that term. Yeah, we have a brother-sister relationship, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah, so why not? We partnership that together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Anyways, thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
One last song
One
from
last song,
Black Denim. or
and
what?
they'll introduce it for us. Have a great weekend,
This
guys.
next song we're about to get into is from our male vocalist, VCX. This track is called Amnesia.
They're gonna be sure.
Everybody's so lost, can't even remember where we come from. Just trying to escape out of Babylon. Lend me your strength so I can carry on. May we find a way, what does your soul cost? Enough to keep you from seeing where you come from. They just want us to think that nothing's going wrong. Oh, can't you see what's going on? Amnesia, yeah. I find myself going nowhere in this mess. Yeah, yeah. There's too much noise and calamity these days. Yeah. They wanna see you cornered back against the wall. Is there a simple way to make the structure fall? Mash up the system, no. I hate the end of the road, baby. All this time I wasn't playing my role, baby. Trapped in a game we can't even play proper. If you follow all the rules, everybody's so lost. Can't even remember where we come from. Just trying to escape out of Babylon. Lend me your strength so I can carry on. May we find a way, what does your soul cost? Enough to keep you from seeing where you come from. They just want us to think that nothing's going wrong. Oh, can't you see what's going on? Amnesia, yeah. Still we fight the struggles of yesterday. Yeah. Now look how all these fools have nothing to say. They trying to turn us against ourselves. Against ourselves. Keeping us blind to our inner web. Yeah. I'm at the edge of a cliff, baby. All this time they wasn't getting my drift, baby. Every time we reach the end there's a new chapter. Another chance to set us free. Everybody's so lost, can't even remember where we come from. Just trying to escape out of Babylon. Lend me your strength so I can carry on. May we find a way, what does your soul cost? Enough to keep you from seeing where you come from. They just want us to think that nothing's going wrong. Oh, can't you see what's going on? Amnesia, yeah. Cause you make me see the truth. I'm new, yeah. I know that you care for me. When things are hard, I know that you will always have my back. Cause you make me see the truth. I'm new, yeah. You know I'll be there for you. When things are hard, you know that I will always have your back. Everybody's so lost, can't even remember where we come from. Just trying to escape out of Babylon. Lend me your strength so I can carry on.